Hey, what's up, y'all? And we're back with another college football 2025 preview and prediction. And up today, we got the Miami Hurricanes, and I am joined by Officer Slim Shady Canes.
How are you, Vic?
Good. Let me do my screen share. Okay, there we go. Okay, so of course we'll start by recapping what y'all did last year. So last year, 10-3, 6-2 against the ACC. Yeah, started out really good. One, two, yeah, won a bunch of games uh, in a row. You started out like 9-0 before losing to and Syracuse, and then lost to Iowa State in the Pop Tart Bowl. So
Yeah, that one kind of hurt my feelings, especially when your quarterback decides to quit halfway through the game.
I know. Yeah, he was just in there long enough to set a record and then quit at halftime.
Yeah, and I know Mario said that that was the plan all along was to play half the game and then have the other quarterback play. I don't like it. It doesn't matter if that was the plan or if he just broke the record and was like, okay, I'm done. However, it went down. I'm not a fan. If you're going to play
Yeah,
the game, play the game. If you're not, don't play in it at all.
yeah. I don't like it either. Yes. Anyway, so I guess we talk about your 2025 recruiting class. You signed the 14th recruiting class. So
Not bad. I think there are some things, obviously, some places you could have done a little better. And I think with a recruiter of Mario's caliber, probably should have done a little better.
yeah,
Because whatever his faults, I don't think anybody would argue that he's one of the best recruiters in the country.
that's true. Yeah. So, anyways, you did get a 5-star defensive end, Hayden Lowe. Yeah, so I guess he's the best player that y'all signed. And then y'all
Yeah,
got a running back. You got Gerard Pringle, 4-star running back. So you got
which
a 4-star wide receiver, Joshua
I think
Moore.
I think he's hit a home run at least so far in all the running backs he's brought in. So I don't think anybody should really argue over a 4-star running back. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, and then y'all got a 4-star tight end, Brock Scott. But I mean, is he really a tight end though? He's 6'3", 215. I think that's more like a wide receiver. But
It is, but chances are he won't play this year because we have other highly recruited tight ends that are bigger. So he'll probably spend the year getting bigger and be much more of a tight end come next year.
yeah, yeah. He needs to bulk up a bit to be a tight end. So
I would agree, but at least I do think he's still bigger than Kyle Pitts was when he was in Florida. Now he was definitely small for a tight end.
yeah, let's see. I guess that's about it. Unless there's anyone else you think is important.
I not necessarily in particular because I don't think this is a year where we would have a bunch of freshmen making any real kind of an impact.
Right.
Um, I think the vast majority of those guys, some of them may break into the rotation somewhere. Like it wouldn't surprise me if that tight end Brock ends up, in late against, South Florida or a cupcake game, something like that, where most of the players on the team get into the game. But outside of that, I think he's stacked enough classes and there's enough talent that a lot of these guys will probably sit this year, except for maybe the running back, and then of course, at 5-star edge rusher. I mean, we've seen it everywhere from Miami to Georgia. Sometimes those 5 stars just can't be kept on the bench. They're that good.
Yep. Yeah, and if you do keep them on the bench, they end up transferring. So
True that, man. Welcome to modern college football, I guess.
yep. Yeah, speaking of transfers, you also got the number 19 portal class.
Went mainly after corners because that was the Achilles heel of last year's team. I mean, everybody just points to the defense, but particularly it was the secondary.
Yeah.
Um, because statistically, that was a top 15 to 20 front seven rush defense.
Yep.
Um, you just had, guys like Kyle McCord and that Louisville quarterback, his name escapes me now, that got drafted. Um,
Even Tyler Shuck.
yeah. Um, yeah, those guys were able to throw for a lot of yards on that secondary. That secondary, if Miami fans were honest, we knew it was a problem coming into last season, and then a couple of key injuries, and all of a sudden we're playing three true freshman corners. It's not a recipe for
Yep.
success for any defense.
Nope. You did focus on a lot of corners. You did get Ethan O'Connor from Washington State. You had Emmanuel Carnley from Arizona, but then he turned around and transferred to Virginia after the spring. So
I saw that, which I guess the ACC doesn't have the same rule that the SEC has, that you can't transfer in conference in the spring
right,
portal.
right.
Um, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because as many corners as he brought in, I figure, okay, post spring, somebody's not going to be looking all that great. We'll probably look to go somewhere else that they can play immediately.
No, yep. Got Charles Brantley from Michigan State and Xavier Lucas from Wisconsin.
I think Xavier Lucas, coming from Wisconsin, is the reason of that lawsuit between Wisconsin and Miami
Oh,
now.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, but he didn't. But he didn't even go through the transfer portal. He just unenrolled from
Yeah.
Wisconsin and enrolled at Miami. So
Yeah. And to be honest, I haven't looked much into that lawsuit because probably nothing's going to come of it because, once again, welcome to modern college football. It just kind of is what it is.
yep, and you got Kalante Scott from Houston. So that's one, uh, two, three, four, five corners from the portal, but only four of them remain. So you got four corners from the portal. So that's a lot. Anyway, so now we'll talk about the quarterbacks. Of course, Cam Ward is gone. He had 4,300 yards, 67.2% completions, 9.5 yards per attempt, 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Yeah, just a video game numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's statistically the best season a quarterback has ever had at Miami, which a lot of people tried to point to that and say, oh, you had the best quarterback statistically ever at Miami and you didn't make the playoffs. To me, the better argument is it took that long to get a quarterback to have those kind of numbers, which, to me, validates a lot of what I said, and other people like Uncle Lou have said, that quarterback has been the main problem at Miami over the past 20 years.
Yep. But of course, you do have Carson Beck. Yeah, yeah, you got my boy Carson Beck from Georgia. So
We do, and that's why I don't think that the offense is going to fall off a cliff this year. I mean, Carson Beck is probably, and you could speak to this. Carson Beck's probably the best passer since what? Stafford,
Yeah,
Aaron Murray.
since Stetson Bennett, but I mean Stetson did throw for 4,000 yards, though.
Well, yes, but I don't think even you would say that Stetson Bennett is anywhere near the quarterback that Stafford is.
No, no, he's
And
not. But
and that's not taking anything away from Stetson. Stetson just had a different skill set.
yep, he did. Yeah. So last year, Carson Beck had 3,485 yards, 64.7% completions, 7.8 yards per attempt, 28 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions.
Which I think, considering the state of Georgia's wide receiver room last year, is probably a minor miracle.
Yeah, yeah, facts. He would have had a much higher completion percentage if he didn't have all his drops. He'd probably be at over 70%. So
Probably would have been over 4,000 yards. Probably would have had fewer
yeah,
touchdowns, more touch
yeah,
or fewer interceptions and more touchdowns.
yeah, 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 yeah. So he needs to throw less interceptions. Yeah, because remember when he had like those those 4 games where he like threw like 9
Nine
interceptions
interceptions.
in 4
Yeah.
games. Yeah. Yeah,
Well, and
that was
and
bad.
and this is just a theory. There's really no way to prove it right or wrong. I mean, some of that was probably caused, at least in part, by all the drops Georgia's wide receiver room had, and Stetson's just trying to force something in there and make it happen.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, so we know why he really transferred to Miami was because of Hannah Cavender, right? His girlfriend at the time, which of course they have since broke up. So
Well, that's the rumor. I mean, he said it wasn't, she said it wasn't, but I think we all know. No, it
yep,
probably at least played a factor.
yep, yep. Okay. And let's see. I gotta find my way back now. Oops, wrong way. Uh, yeah, and it's a good thing y'all got Carson too, because yeah, y'all would have been screwed without him. So
Maybe it either would have been last year's backup or
yeah,
a position I really don't like to be in. I think probably what would have happened if we hadn't got Carson is the true freshman quarterback out of Milton would have started. Um, oh God, his name escapes me now. He was the Gatorade
uh,
Player of the Year in Georgia. Um,
uh, right. Okay, I'll just sign. Oh yeah, I had it. I'll have to go back to the recruiting page again. No, 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 no. There. Okay, it was talking about Luke Nickel.
yes, Luke Nickel. Very, very good quarterback coming out of Georgia. I think they won state at Milton, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Um, but like I said, if I can help it, I don't want to be in the position where I'm playing a true freshman quarterback if I can help it.
Right, right. Well, I saw Emory Williams in the second half of the Pop Tart Bowl, and he did not look good. So,
No, he didn't. But to be fair, also he hadn't played. That was really he got some garbage time in a couple of games. That was really his first his first action since he broke his arm at Florida State last year. So
wow,
I can't be too mad at him about that
wow,
because
yeah,
like
and then
he had seen garbage time in a couple of games, but so did multiple
right,
quarterbacks. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what is a Poffenbarger?
we picked him up
It was
last
from
year.
Albany.
Yeah, he was the leading passer in D2 the year before he transferred to Miami.
Yeah, he played pretty good at Albany. He had 3,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. Yeah, he did pretty good at Albany.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. And like I said, he was another one. He came in some garbage time. Really didn't see a lot of him, so can't really form much of an opinion on him. At least in
Yeah,
a Miami uniform.
right. Let's see. Yes, but I think he transferred though.
He
Yeah,
may
there he
have.
is, right
Yeah, he
there.
transferred.
Transferred to North Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I think with both Carson being brought in and then recruiting Luke Nickel, it's probably just him reading the room and seeing that probably wasn't going to have much of a future at Miami.
Right. Okay, so now next we can, yeah, and I think that that Beck will do good at Miami as long as his receivers can catch. I think he'll do pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of the proven talent is gone, but there's highly recruited talent sitting behind them. So it's just a matter of them proving themselves one way or another to see what they're going to be.
All right, yeah. So I guess we can talk about the running backs next. Yeah, Damian Martinez is off to the NFL to Seattle.
Which, by the way, Seattle got a bargain. I mean, a guy that's put up, excuse me, at least 1,000 yards all 3 years in college and goes in the seventh round. That was a bit of a shock to me.
Yep. Yep. He had 1,002 yards, 6.3 per carry, and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he had put up 1,000, 1,100 each previous year at Washington State
Okay. I don't, okay. Or was
or
it
Oregon State.
Oregon
Excuse me.
State? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oregon State. Yeah.
Oregon State.
Anyway, but you do bring back Mark Fletcher. Yeah. Yeah. And he's a big back. He's 6'2, 225. So,
Yeah, him and Martinez was a nice 1-2 combination because Martinez is about the same size. I think he's a little heavier at like 230, 228,
yeah.
230. But
Yeah.
that was a nice combination of backs, especially to have late in the game, because that's where I'll give Shannon Dawson credit for all the, I guess you call it, analysis of him being a air raid guy. He really does keep it fairly even between pass and run. And there were several games that I saw last year that the combination of those two backs early in the game just had defenses gassed in the fourth quarter. And you saw a lot of big runs get broken off in the fourth quarter because defenses were just, it takes a lot out of you to spend 4 quarters trying to tackle 225, 230-pound backs.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, he had 112 carries, 607 yards, 5.4 per carry and 9 touchdowns. And then you've also got Jordan Lyle. He had 54 catches for 400 yards and 7.4 yards per carry and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, Jordan Lyle was specifically one of the ones. I think it was a Wake Forest game last year. They really
Yeah,
started running him in the fourth quarter after Martinez and Fletcher, and he was
yeah,
averaging almost 12 yards a carry in that game just because they were
yeah,
so tired.
yeah. Yeah, there's a freshman last year. He's 6 foot 190, so I guess he's a smaller back, but he's really fast and shifty. So
He does have the breakaway speed that a guy like Damian Martinez or Mark Fletcher doesn't have. Like they
yeah,
can get run down as big as they are. They'll break away, but they'll get run down. Jordan Lyle's got that breakaway speed. Once he's in the open field, you're not catching him.
that's right. Yeah, he had the longest run of 91 yards. So
And he's pretty good
and
at catching the ball out of the backfield too.
yeah, and then you had Chris Johnson and AJ Allen transferred,
Yeah.
but y'all did get a running back from uh, North Dakota State. Y'all got Charmar Brown.
And North Dakota State's a good team. I mean, we all saw
Yeah,
them have given several big time programs a run for their money. So
yeah,
I'll take a guy from there.
yeah. He was a 1,000 yard back at North Dakota State last year. So uh, let's see. Now I guess we'll do wide receivers, and yeah, they're all gone. Xavier Strepo, Jacoby George, gone to the NFL. Isaiah Horton transferred to Alabama, and then Elijah Arroyo in the NFL, and Sam Brown. So yeah,
Yeah,
they're all gone.
yeah. And Horton transferring to Alabama was he was one of the main ones I've pointed to because I've said all off season this was a weird year for the transfer portal to me. Like some guys transferring just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and he was one of them. Like I don't know that he's going to be a starter at Alabama. He would have been probably wide receiver number one at Miami this year.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
definitely.
understand that. But I mean, he's not the only one. You had guys like Malik Murphy transferring out of Duke, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and a few others.
Yep, yep. Yeah, Restrepo was a beast last year. He had over 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. So yeah,
First,
16.3 per catch.
uh, interesting fact that even I was surprised when I came across it. Restrepo's the first wide receiver in Miami history with back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons,
Wow.
which I never would have guessed that. Not with the laundry list of big-time receivers that have come out of there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have guessed that.
yep. That's amazing. Uh, yeah, you got Josiah Trader and Ray Joseph. Uh, yeah,
Josiah
yeah,
Trader is the one that I think I don't want to say can come out and surprise people, but I think to some extent will because as good as he was, he got overlooked a lot because his teammate on the other side of the field was Jeremiah Smith.
yeah,
But JoJo Trader is really good. Ray Joseph is really good.
yeah, yeah. And then Sh- Shamar Kirk transferred, but you do have Nikar coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Nikar entered the portal and then took his name out of the portal.
now, and for personal reasons, he's somebody I would like to see good do well. because I told you before I spent a few years living in South Georgia, and
Uh-huh.
he went to. If I had stayed there, I'd have gone to Colquitt County High School, which is the high school he came out of.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, but anyway, but yes, that's so now y'all did get some receivers from the portal. Y'all got CJ Daniels from LSU. Uh and you got Keelan Marion from BYU and Tony Johnson from Cincinnati.
Yeah, and I think of the three, the transfer out of LSU is probably the most proven.
Yeah,
Now I do try to be fair. He's proven in the LSU uniform. He isn't proven in a
yeah,
Miami uniform. So
right,
it's still, to me, it's still kind of a wait and see what he's going to do.
right, right. Yes, he was in early enrollee, right? And then I think that the other two didn't arrive until after the spring.
I believe you're
And
right.
there we got Keelan Marion, yeah, April 26th, and then Tony Johnson, April 29th. So yeah, but CJ Daniels is gonna get a full off season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll probably be a wide receiver one then because he'll have had more time with Beck. So
I would tend to agree. And to repeat what I said, he coming into Miami, he was probably the most proven. So him, I have less questions about, but I'm still. I try and take the same approach to all transfers.
mhm.
I'll use what they did somewhere else as a measuring stick, but I want to see you do it in a Miami uniform.
Right, yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, and then some tight ends. You did get Alex Bauman from Tulane and Jack Nickel from UAB.
Yeah, and we had to do that because some tight ends transferred out that I thought were going to vie for the starting job, or at the very least be in the two deep rotation. But I mean, like we said earlier, welcome to modern college football. It's just how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, Jack Nickel related to that to that quarterback that y'all got in this class.
I can neither confirm nor
Okay.
deny,
Yeah, yeah,
but probably
okay.
because I've noticed that
Uh,
if it comes to, I've seen Mario do that in the past. He's
yeah,
taken a transfer to land a big recruit like uh, Damari Brown. He got Damari Brown to commit, but also got his brother to transfer from UCF,
yeah,
which was
yeah. I think yeah, yeah, and then yeah, and then we did the same thing with Zachariah Branch, the wide receiver uh, from uh, from USC, and we also got his brother Zion Branch. So
mm-hmm. Hey, I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And I'll be
yeah,
honest, I mean, both of them played pretty decently. Um, and actually, Damari was one of the corners that I was kind of counting on to step up last year that got injured and just really led to the downfall of Miami's secondary last year.
yep, yep, yeah. And then you had Riley Williams transferred to Oregon State. All right, Yeah, and then you do bring back Elijah Lofton, and y'all got that freshman tight end. So
Yeah, I think we're okay in the tight end room.
yeah, and then Cam McCormick, yeah, he played for 9 years. Is he getting a 10th year or
No, no, he's not getting a 10th year.
he's
I do kind of feel like they did a story on him for that Miami Florida game. And I mean, I do kind of feel bad for him. I mean, it kind of became a joke that his occupation had become college football
yeah,
player.
yeah,
But
yeah. I mean,
I mean, when you look into how his surgery at Oregon got botched, and I mean, okay, if somebody deserves some extra time, this guy's probably one of them.
I mean, Barack Obama was the president when he started college. So
He better have a doctorate degree by the time he got done.
yeah. All right. So, anyways, I guess we'll take a look at your stats from last year. So, you did have 43.9 yards per game, which was number one. And then we'll look at a total. Uh, yeah, also number one in total offense, too, 537 yards per game. Yes, 7.57 per play.
Yep. Offense was not our problem, not by a long shot.
Nope. Nope. Not at all. Okay, and then
But
we
also to
got
be completely fair,
passing.
like I think compared to what Miami's done for the better part of 20 years, in Mario's third year, I'll take a 10-win season all day long.
Yes, but this was not Mario's first year, so
No, I said his third year.
oh, third year. Right. Okay. Anyway, and then passing, y'all were third in passing, 348.2 per game, 9.26 per pass. And then we'll try to look for a run. Yeah, rushing offense. Uh, yeah. This one we're gonna have to look for. Yeah, there you are. 31 in rushing, 188.9 per game, and like 5.7 per carry. Yeah, so that's really good. Yeah, I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to replicate that this year, but yeah. Oh, yeah, I lost you for a second.
Yeah, sorry about that. I hit a button accidentally.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if y'all are gonna quite put up the same numbers this year, but
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me in the least bit if the offense takes a step back. I wonder how much though, because if that wide receiver core is able to step up, some of those highly recruited guys show why they're highly recruited guys. Um, Carson Beck is not Cam Ward, but two things can be true at once. Would I be surprised at all at the end of the year if Carson Beck has 4,000 yards passing? No, I wouldn't.
no, 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 no. Okay, all right. So I think we're ready for the defense now. Or I guess we can do special teams next. So yeah, Andy Borregales is gone. He was 18 out of 19 last year. So
Yeah, he's been that way pretty much every year. I hate to see him go because that was definitely one side of the ball during his tenure you haven't had to worry about.
Nope. Yeah, and then you you had your backup kicker transferred. So yeah, Abram Murray transferred to Cal, but y'all did get a kicker out of the portal. Y'all got Bert Auburn from Texas. Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
yeah yeah yeah, yeah, and I think he's pretty good. So
yeah, that's another one. I'm especially after having Borgalis. It, I mean, I've seen Borgalis hit some from 55 plus that would have been good from 65. I
right,
mean, it just that guy kind of like when even he was really good in the clutch too. Like he was, I would compare him to when Hot Rod was at Georgia. Like,
yeah,
okay, I ain't got to worry about this.
nope, nope, and then of course let's not forget about the uh, uh the punter too. Yeah, I know that he's the guy who you don't want to see come onto the field, but
Right.
yeah, but you want to try to make the field position for the opposing team as bad as possible. So
Yeah,
mm,
and obviously with the offense being so good, we didn't see a whole lot of the punter last year.
yeah, yeah, Dylan Joyce only had to have 26 punts for 42.7 average. So
And listen, I'll take 40 plus yard punts all the time. I mean, can you ask for a whole lot better out of a punter?
no, no. All right. So I guess now we're ready for the defense now.
Ugh.
Yeah, y'all do. Yeah. The defense wasn't very good last year, and y'all do lose a lot. I guess we can talk about the defensive stats first. Let's see how ba- how bad it was. We got scoring defense. Hmm. Nope, not on the first page. There's Miami of Ohio, but yeah, and in fact, that Miami of Ohio had a better defense. There y'all are, 70, 25.3 points per game.
Yeah.
You know, right down there with between Rutgers and UCLA. So
Ugh.
yep, and
Yeah.
then we'll look for total total.
Now, I don't think total defense was actually too terrible. The rushing defense helped bolster it a little bit. No, you just passed it. I saw it.
Oh, you saw Miami. Yeah.
27, 28. I can't quite read it.
Okay, there y'all are. Y'all were better than Miami of Ohio in total defense.
Like I
Yeah,
said,
with 27.
our
Yeah,
our our front seven kind of helped save that total defense number.
yeah, yeah. 327.2 per game and 5.3 per play. We'll go ahead and look at rushing. Uh, hmm, 19th in rushing. So 112.8, 3.75 per carry. Yes, the run defense was good. Yeah, top 20 in the run defense. It's the pass. That was the
Y-
problem. Let's see.
Oh yeah, and actually, it that run defense was a little better. You remember we played Georgia Tech there real close to the end of the year,
Yep.
and Georgia Tech ran on us, but they were really
Yep.
the only ones that did.
Go to page 2. ELR 57th against the pass,
Yeah,
214.4 per game, 6.7 per attempt.
yeah, that secondary hurt my feelings last year.
Yep. 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 Yeah, they hurt. Yeah, they hurt my feelings too because I had a Miami plus whatever it was against Syracuse in the outpick Vic. So
Yeah, I honestly I think that game hurt worst of all because Georgia Tech, that game stayed close. That game was kind of a dogfight. Syracuse, you get up to a 21-point lead and then lose it. Like, okay, even if the defense screws up, which they did, but that was a game where you can kind of point to the offense really stalling out.
yep.
A couple of uncharacteristic drops by Restrepo.
Yep.
Um, One of the few fumbles last year out of Cam Ward to kind of steal that. Or that might have been the Georgia Tech game. I don't remember. It just a couple of uncharacteristic things kind of really happened to swing the momentum of that Syracuse game, and that one hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fact. Anyway, so y'all do yeah, Francis Maui Go is gone. He was your top tackler. He had 96. Let's see. Tyler Barron also gone to the Jets. Their defensive end. Uh, 5.5 sacks. Uh, Michelle Powell is gone. That defensive back.
Now, to be fair on the Tyler Barron,
Mhm.
most of his time, at least early in the year, came filling in for an injured Reuben Bain. And once Bain was back, Barron was kind of in and out on packages. Um, so I don't think that one is going to hurt too much because we have,
Yeah.
I mean, essentially we've got Reuben Bain in the place of
Yeah.
of uh, where Tyler Barron was filling in,
Yeah,
which
what
I'll
about
take.
that? Yeah, what about that or the hairdo though? Yeah, it looks
That
like a
is a
spider. Looks like a spider on his head. Anyway, yeah, Daryl Porter is gone to the Bills.
yeah.
Uh,
That one surprised me because he was one of the ones that got injured that I think hurt the defense last year, and I figured because of that he would come back, but then he ended up leaving anyway. So I was like, well, what do I know?
yeah, yeah, what do you know? I guess
Apparently, not much.
let's talk about who y'all got back. You got Wesley Bissaint.
Yeah, Wesley Besant will be back. I like him. He's got a lot
Yep,
of experience, and I think
yep,
he's going to make up for one of the downfalls of Malagoa, which I liked him when he transferred in from Washington State to play with his brother. Um, but there are times in the defense where they wanted the linebackers to drop back into coverage, and Malagoa is just too big for that. Like you know, because sometimes when you drop, you've got an outside backer trying to keep up with a slot receiver. A lot of the times, Malago is just too big of a linebacker to be doing that, and I think that created some mismatches that unfortunately the personnel we had just wasn't a fit.
yep. let's see, I lost Simeon Barrow. Yeah, he's to the Falcons. But y'all did get Akeem Mesidor. Is he back?
Yeah, he spent all of last season injured, so yeah, he's back.
Yeah, yeah,
And he was one of the ones I was looking forward to seeing last year, and then he got hurt. I think it was either in the summer or fall camp, and he ended up missing the entire year because of it. Um, he's one that I had a lot of expectations for, so I will again this year. I think he's a good player.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then yeah. I remember when y'all got him from West Virginia, and y'all were so excited to have him. So yep.
I
But
think probably
anyway,
the best returner that would have been a surprise from last year would be OJ Frederick. Uh,
yeah, OJ.
one of those freshman corners that got forced into action and actually made the freshman All American list.
Yep, forced. Yep, forced into action. Uh, y'all got Ruben Bain returning. He had 3.5 sacks, and then C.J. Clark. I don't know. He might be gone. He's played for 6 years.
Apparently, you can play for 9 or 10 now, so that don't necessarily mean he's gone.
Okay, okay. So you know if he's back or not, or
In particular, I don't remember. Um,
right,
not off the top of my head.
right, right. Okay, okay. So he may or may not be back. Uh, let's see. Look, yeah. And then Elijah Alston. No, it's not one. The 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 big guy. There he is. Ahmad Moten.
Yeah, Ahmad
Big
Moten
guy.
is back
He's the big guy. He's 6'3", 325.
and can move around like he's 275.
Yep. Uh, yep. Still got Jalen Alderman is back. Yeah, yeah, and then Jaden Harris. I think he transferred to Georgia.
I do believe you're right.
Uh, yep, Jaden. Yep, Jaden Harris. Yep. Uh, Georgia. Got Dione Hill. Yep. Is coming back.
I think like last year, I'm not particularly worried about the front seven of that defense. I think it's all going to be in what some transfers or some younger guys can do in that secondary. But we did bring in a new defensive coordinator. Um, they hired I can't think of his name. He was Minnesota's defensive
But
coordinator last year, who had a surprise. I didn't know this until they hired him. Minnesota had a top five total defense in the country last year.
hmm, that's good. Anyway, yes, we mentioned all the corners that y'all got: Ethan O'Connor and uh, all of them, Charles Brantley, Xavier Lucas, and Kalante Scott. Did get a safety. Y'all got Jacoby Thomas from Tennessee, and Zachariah Poyser from Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I know all the Tennessee fans I've tried to ask about Thomas. He wasn't any good. They're not mad that he left.
Yeah, that's why. That's why he left. So because he wasn't any good. But anyway, y'all did get some linebackers. We got Muhammad Torre from Rutgers and Kamal Bonner from NC State. And then y'all got a defensive lineman, David Blay Jr. from Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, I like I said, it really my only question on the defense is how much better can that secondary get? Now, I don't want to say they can't get any worse because they can. They were what 57th or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there's about 100 spots or 50 spots where they can get worse, but with the amount of talent there, I don't see them being worse than they were last year. If I can get, if I can get the rush defense to be at midseason form somewhere around 13 is where they were, midseason, and if I can get that secondary in the top 30, I think Miami's defense will be okay.
all right. Okay, so we're ready to start looking at the schedule now.
Let's do it.
All right. So you start out week one against Miami. Would have been great to start out with a cupcake for all those new players that y'all got, but y'all do get Notre Dame week one. So
Yeah, and this tastes like vinegar coming out of my mouth. Um, I think we're going to lose that game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so too. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just even with Notre Dame, I think they're starting a true freshman quarterback. Um, but the flip side of that, Carson Beck missed the spring,
Yep, he did. Yeah,
and
he did because his elbow, yeah,
yeah,
was still messed up. So
yeah. So it's all going to depend on how much work him and those players put in the off season. And I just game one, I find it hard for them to be firing on all cylinders, ready to go.
yeah, game
Um,
one, game one, it'll be tough if y'all had Bethune Cookman week one and Notre Dame week two. I would have been feeling a lot better about this game, but
Now, I do think Miami can win it. I don't think this is like a guaranteed L or Notre Dame's going to win by 50. This is a winnable game, but I don't think Miami's going to.
right, okay, starting out 0-1, and then you've got Bethune Cookman. Yeah, you'll just steamroll them. Yeah.
Yeah. And South Florida as well,
Yeah, and South Florida as well. The South Florida gonna be tougher than Bethune Cookman. But
without a doubt.
yeah, and I remember yeah South Florida. I mean, yeah, they kept it close with Alabama for 3 quarters last year. So and then ended up getting blown out in the fourth. So
Yeah, and they kept it close with us for a half. And then basically from halftime on, we blew them out.
all right. So the next up, you do play Florida.
I think that's another win. I don't think Florida is going to be terribly better than they were last year. I mean, I get DJ Lagway's getting a little bit of hype, but let's take the fluff game out of it that he played. He was 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That
Yeah,
defense is really what carried Florida to that, we'll call it, second half resurgence that saved Billy Napier's job. Um, I, A lot of their defense is gone. I do think DJ Lagway's talented, but I think Billy Napier refusing to hire an OC is going to hold him back. And by then, I think Carson Beck will be in a rhythm with his offense. Um, because Miami's possibly going to have the best offensive line in the country this year. So I think they're going to give Carson Beck all kinds of time. And Carson Beck's already undefeated against Florida, so I don't think that's about to change.
Yeah, yeah, I don't either. And then next you got a bye week, and then after that you play at at Florida State. Again, I think Florida State will be a little bit better than they were last year. I don't see them being as bad as last year, but I still think they're not gonna be uh, good enough to beat Miami. So
I agree.
yep. So anyway, yeah. So if y'all could get Castellanos, just to talk some trash before this game, like you did Alabama, that would be good.
Oh, that would be great. And see, here's the thing. I think Castellanos is a hell of a player, but he got benched at Boston College for a reason, and then basically pulled a Spencer Rattler when he was at Oklahoma, and threw a hissy fit and quit the team.
Yep. Yep. All right. Yes, y'all get bye weeks before and after the Florida State game.
Yeah, I don't like that. I do think that's one thing where we kind of got screwed on our
Yeah,
schedule.
that's stupid. How it's like a bye week and then one game and then another bye week.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but I guess that's the
I'm
way the
not
cookie
either.
crumbles sometimes.
All right, yeah, yeah. I guess I'll can blame the ACC.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay,
I'll
so
blame them.
so that's gonna put y'all at 4-1, and then you play Louisville. Now I already previewed Louisville, so yeah, I do have y'all beating them. I think they're gonna take a step back this year, losing Tyler Shuck and some of their receivers, though they did get Miller Moss from the portal, but not really a big believer in Miller Moss. So
I agree with you. Louisville's going to take a step back, and yeah, I think we're going to win that game, especially being in Miami. I mean, I get the joke on the internet is, Miami has no home field advantage, but Miami went undefeated at home last year. And really, anytime there's a big matchup in Miami, whether it's Oklahoma, whether it's Ohio State, whether it's A&M, really, no matter who it's been, Miami wins in Miami.
yep, yep. All right, so the next you've got Stanford, and they're trash. Y'all are gonna beat them.
I agree. I mean, it's Stanford.
Yeah, at Stanford. Yeah, yeah. You remember when Stanford used to be good?
I do. I remember when Jim Harbaugh was there, and
Yep,
Andrew Luck was there, and
yep.
Richard Sherman.
Is there? Yeah, and Christian McCaffrey. Yep,
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. That's another one.
yep,
Boy, how the mighty hath fallen.
yep. And then next, you do play at SMU.
Our first game out of the state of Florida, too, by the way.
Yay, really? Wow. Yeah, that's true. Wow.
So not until November do we leave the state of Florida, and it's to go to
Yeah, and
Dallas, Texas.
yeah, and then your only road game was was Florida State. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I do think
then
we beat SMU. I think SMU lost a lot of what they had. Like part of the reason I think SMU was able to come into the conference other than the schedule they were given, and fare pretty well. Um, a lot of the transfers Miami's had over the previous couple of seasons were guys that played under Rhett Lashley when he was the OC at Miami, so they transferred to SMU. A lot of those guys are all gone.
Okay.
I think I like their quarterback, but I think SMU takes a step back this year. They got a little
Hmm.
bit tougher schedule. They didn't play Miami during the season last year. They didn't play Clemson during the season last year. I think they have a tougher road to sled, and SMU is not going to be as good this year.
Uh, yeah, I know they're not gonna be as good this year, but it is in Dallas, and they do have Kevin Jennings, quarterback, returning, and yeah, you got to lose to someone. So
Oh,
yeah,
I've got
I'm
us
gonna
losing another
give
game, but it
y'all.
ain't to them.
So I'm gonna give y'all the L to SMU.
Okay.
All right, up next, you do have play the Syracuse, the Orange Man. So
I think Miami's going to look for revenge here,
revenge, yeah, revenge. Yep,
and Miami's going to absolutely obliterate Syracuse because as good as
yeah,
they were last year, they had Kyle McCord throwing the ball 55, 60 times a game. He's gone,
yeah.
and you don't just replace Kyle McCord.
Nope. Okay, so next you play NC State.
I think we win that. I Number one, I have no faith in Dave Dorn. Number two, Miami's got a pretty good record against NC State since joining the conference. Like for whatever reason, we just always seem to beat NC State.
Yep, yep, those are facts. Okay, and then last two games you've got at Virginia Tech and at Pitt.
Well, here's where I've got us taking loss number two is at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, late November.
Yep,
Probably going to be a night game.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and
This
that
is
one
a
pains me
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. This is a revenge game from last year. They sh- should have beat y'all last year in Miami on Friday night and blew it. So yeah,
Yeah, well, and I could very well see Virginia Tech having this circled as a revenge game. Um, and Blacksburg late in the year has always been a tough place to play. I mean, it just is what it is. In my opinion, the greatest entrance in all of college football with Enter Sandman. If it's at night, that place is going to get rocking. Yeah, I
yep,
got us toting a big fat L right there.
yeah. Still got y'all beating Virginia Tech though, and I got y'all beating Pitt too. I already did Pitt with Talk is Pitt, and I had y'all beating Pitt. So
Okay. I mean, hey, we both got us with the same record. You just have a loss to SMU, and I've got a loss to Virginia Tech. So we're not
yep,
far off from each other.
yep. All right. So we both got 10-2. We both have a loss to Miami, and I've got a loss to SMU. Slim's got a loss to Virginia Tech. Okay,
Which,
and then that probably means a trip to the ACC title game.
yeah, because that would put us at one either if either one of those are right, um, we have one conference loss. Yeah, I don't see that not making the ACC title game.
Nope. Uh, nope. I don't either. So
And,
that would be only that would be just the second time making it to the ACC championship.
yeah, be the third time
Yeah, cause,
qualifying for it and the
yeah,
second time
yeah,
making it. That's correct.
yeah. Because I know that y'all
Um,
made it. That y'all made it in one of the Mark Richt years.
yeah, and we actually made it in, oh, what was that? 20, it was either 11 or 12. but it was like Al Golden's first or second year, and they were doing that self-imposed postseason ban with the whole Nevin Shapiro thing. Um, so we didn't actually play in the game, but they made it to it. Um, and I think making it to the ACC title, probably like last year, win or lose, probably guarantees a spot in the playoffs more than likely.
Yep. Okay. So anyway, yes. So yes, y'all give us your predictions in the comment section. Tell us your prediction for Miami. Yeah. So it's a slim. Yeah. So I guess I'll tell people to subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Please do. I
Yeah.
occasionally upload the random video of whatever shenanigans
Yeah.
I'm up to,
Yeah.
um, and I make the rounds as much as I can with everybody. But yeah, y'all be sure and thumbs up the video from my guy Vic.
Yeah. 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 Thanks. All right. All right, y'all. So thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all again next time.